Hi, welcome to Happy Hour with Ruth.
And Roxy. Great to see you guys. Thanks
It
for
is good
showing
to
up.
see you. And we've got kind of well, Roxanne, I have an idea.
What? You have an idea?
I have an idea.
When you say that, that is a sign that things are going to happen.
Well, I think we're going to take a little deviation from our, we've been sort of going into topics or themes lately, and I think this is kind of a theme. But first, I think before we get into it, it's like, you know, um, I think there's some stuff we need to discuss with the team, with the crew. But first, let's talk about what we're drinking.
Oh,
Let's get in there.
I am drinking salty lime Mexican lager from
From
Old
Old
Yale
Yale.
Brewing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it.
I've
So
got Red
refreshing.
Truck Lager. Yeah,
It's a
but
it's a beer kind of day.
it is a beer kind of day. It's nice out. And also I put lime in mine, so it's kind of salty lime. I could put salt in it.
I could have put more lime in mine. I was feeling citrusy, and this does have, I didn't put any extra in there, but it does taste citrusy. When we were out yesterday, and some of you listeners may have been at that event that I was at yesterday, birthday party at the local Lakeside Beach Club that we love. And I had a Cosmo because everyone was having Cosmos. And,
And you're fancy.
I bowed to peer pressure. Yeah, I don't love them.
No, they're too sweet for
I'm
me.
just not a fan of sweet drinks.
Yeah, they're too sweet for me.
It's fun sometimes to do
It is
something
fun,
a
and
little different.
it's pretty and it's sophisticated.
Yeah.
Like there's all the things, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it was a
Yeah.
birthday party, and it was pink, and made me feel fancy. So I had a Cosmo, and then I had a beer.
Yeah. Well, so here's my opposite to a Cosmo story, because when I was younger, I might not have gone to the most high class beverage stations. Was that how you would say it? Beverage establishments.
Okay.
And if you go to like a little, especially in the US, when you could go to the US because, it wasn't a fascist nightmare. You'd go to like a little corner pub, right? A corner bar, they would call it, because, America. But you'd go there, and what I got told, the advice I was given over and over again, is if you're just ordering draft from a little place like that, put a pinch of salt in it. It tastes better. And also it was like, and I mean, the first time I was like, yeah, okay, buddy. And then it was like, oh, this is okay. And then you just keep hearing it from people, and they would have been the people Jimmy Buffett would have liked to talk to, right? These are old, weathered, legs hit them hard kind of humans. And it's like, but you'd order a draft, and they were like, you know about the salt, right?
Really?
And it was like, I guess I do now.
And what does it do?
It just it gives it a bit more, like salt just gives it a bit more flavor, and especially if it's cheap draft.
Oh, really? Right. Okay.
So
now you're at a place in your life where you just don't order cheap draft.
Oh, I would.
Problem solved.
Oh, well, although there's a place we go to here called the Village Eatery, and it's really good, and they have a great happy hour. But the first time we went in, I looked at the happy hour menu, and the beer that's the cheapest, which I will always be that person that only had $5 to go to the bar, right? Like you're always like, oh, what can I get for a good price? But they have Pabst Blue Ribbon as their like main thing, and so I was asking a few other people younger than me, because like there's a lot of young people that go to this bar too. Like it's not a young bar, but it's not just a sort of older bar, right?
Okay.
But so I'm asking them, and it's like they have Pabst Blue Ribbon, and they're like, it's ironic.
Oh.
And it's like, what does that mean? Like I know what ironic means, but it's like, yeah, you know what? And then people are like, and it's cheap, and but I'm like, I'm not drinking it. It's American. For me, draft beer tastes better, right? Not everybody thinks.
Oh. Yeah. So draft beer, not cheap draft beer. So we were out.
Did you say not cheap draft beer?
Yeah.
Salt, Rox, you need salt, man.
I don't know, but you know what? I was this decade or last decade years old when I learned to enjoy alcohol. So I don't have time. I don't have time to drink cheap stuff. I'm just drinking the good stuff. But we were somewhere recently, and they had beer on tap, and I wanted to try something different, and I ended up trying a Peroni Italian.
That's Italian, right?
Italian dry. It was delicious. Yeah, it was great. Oh,
didn't we have Peroni when we were in Italy?
If we did, I don't remember, but it could be that we had enough that's why I don't remember.
I didn't say anything. Did you think I was going to say something?
Yeah, I don't know. I've forgotten a lot of things in my life.
But it is good, right?
Yeah, and it was like draft beer is just better. Like anything on tap, it's colder. It
Yeah.
just tastes fresher. I don't know what
Yeah,
it
it
is,
does.
but
And
yeah.
there is some like the ones you get from craft breweries and stuff, and you get the growlers, right?
Yes.
It is fresher because once you open them, you better drink it,
Yep.
right? Because
Yep.
there's got no preservatives.
Oh
But
darn. You
yeah,
have to drink fast.
let's just set the tone for today.
All right.
Okay, I think today might be chaos. I brought a
Chaos.
list.
Chaos in your mind or
Yes, well,
chaos
everything's
in
chaos in
general?
my mind. Just chaos in general,
Okay.
and like there's no real structure. But I kind of want to talk about the things like when you say, "Isn't it weird that?" Or it's like, this made me go, "Hmm." Or I saw a meme the other day, and it's every time I see it, it makes me laugh, and it's like I was today years old when I found out this,
Yes.
right? Like that makes me laugh, and
Makes
and
me
it's
laugh
like, but
too.
it's like some of it's and what I've been thinking about lately is some of it's totally ridiculous, right? Like
Hmm.
I have different coffee cups for different kinds of coffee. And it's not because this is a cappuccino cup. It's because I like cappuccino better in that cup. And I have very specific teacups. And wine tastes different. And I'm not there is a science behind all
Hmm.
of this
Hmm.
because the cup does it. But that's not why I like it better. Like
Hmm.
in my head, it's like it's like the same things. There are certain things, even if it's casual Friday, I would never wear to work, right? You know
Ah,
what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
Like I have certain rules in my own head, but I was thinking it this morning because I have these new cups and they don't have any handle on it, like they're just round cups, and
Mm.
I have arthritis in my hand, so it's likely I'm going to drop them. But the
Hmm.
other side is it's like my coffee tastes better in this cup. It's the
Oh,
same coffee,
yeah.
right? So it's like, and wine glasses, we all know, and it seems like
Oh,
somebody's a snob, but in
oh,
fact there's
that makes a
science behind
difference.
that.
That
Yeah.
makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to have red wine in a wider
Yeah.
bottomed
Yeah.
glass. You just have to.
And people don't keep red wine cold enough.
Yeah.
You and I have had that conversation, and
Yeah.
this is, I have to say, one thing that my dad always said was like, it's cellar temperature, not room temperature.
Exactly. Yes. I know our new house doesn't have a wine fridge. I mean, yes,
Oh,
I
life is
hear it.
so hard for
I
you there,
hear it.
precious.
First world Roxanne problems. I absolutely get it. But it is a problem for me because I'm used to it. And we don't drink, Ray doesn't really drink red wine much at all. And I really like it, but I don't drink that much of it. But when I do, it's the perfect temperature. And now it won't be. Now I have to think about it.
Life is so hard.
Yes, life is hard. Thank you for understanding.
I know. I'm a good friend. Okay, so here's another one. Is that, and I've only really seen it on charters, or if there was a rough patch in the flight. But like, have you ever been on a charter to go to Mexico or the Dominican Republic or like Air Transat or all of those? When the plane lands, everybody claps.
Yes, it's because you feel like you've just survived.
Yeah, well,
Thank
well,
you. Thank you for getting us here
yeah,
safely.
but and I've seen it where there's been like turbulence and people are really like
Yes.
not ridiculously free. Like nobody got hurt, but it was like, what the hell, are we going to die?
Yep.
Right? And I've seen that because that's just
Hmm.
acknowledging the pilot. But I have been on, and it's mostly it's mostly
Yeah.
vacation people, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, and they clap, and it's like, but then that led me into thinking, because I even have a bus driver when we walk the dogs. I see this, I don't know if it's the same bus driver, I just see the bus. And every morning I wave and they wave, and it's a thing. Here in Canada, and I don't know if the United States humans among us realize this, if I'm on public transit, I get off the bus and say thank you,
Yeah.
right? Or you get off the streetcar in Toronto. You can't say it on the subway because they're all locked in.
Right.
But it's like we all do that, right? And it's kind of weird.
Is it though? Like,
Well,
I think
they
that's
don't do it in
lovely.
other countries. I think it's lovely too. But it's
Yeah.
also like the fact that we do it across the country, and like I do it when I'm in other countries, and when it's like thank you, and then you see people and other people start saying it, right? They kind of goes. But it was
This
like I was
is
thinking about it. It's a Canadian thing.
this is why Canadians have such a good reputation,
Yeah,
right? Because yeah, that's a decent thing to do. That's just nice. I mean,
it is. Except we'll fight in the queue to get on the bus, or we'll be up there so close that you can't. The people on the bus can't get off the bus. Like it's
yeah,
a random kind of thing
it
that we
is
do,
random.
right?
Yeah. It's a good little reminder to just,
It is.
be Canadian and be proud.
Yeah. Okay,
Or
so
invite
think
all your
about
friends.
think think about this one now. I was also thinking about this because I forget what it was. It was something that started, it was somebody with a child growing up, and they said, one day's going to be the last day. They let you pick them up to carry them around the house, kind of, right? You know what I mean?
I'll have to send it to you. I literally have a Vancouver Sun piece that I wrote years ago when Megan she would have been about maybe 2, maybe
Yeah.
not quite 2. And that was the entire bit of the piece. Yes.
Well, we'll have to share it then.
When is the last time that you're going to do this? The last time there is a last time for all those things, right?
Yeah.
And that just makes me want to cry. I can't think of that the last times.
But there's also like all sorts of last times for other things, you know what I mean? Like and not all of them are bad. Like it might be the last time that you accept a job because the money's good, but it's gonna, like there's all these other things that does it. But I was thinking, because there are lots of things, at some point I was thinking about this because I knew one set of grandparents, right? Because they and they lived 2 doors down from us. And my grandfather passed away when I was quite little, so I didn't really know him, but I knew my grandmother. Okay. And I didn't know my dad's mom as well, and his dad had passed away like when he was a young man, right? Okay. And I was like, but I don't know much past there, and I'm not talking about the ancestry stuff, right? Like I don't know family stories about them.
Yeah.
and I read somewhere a long time ago, it was like, one day is going to be the last somebody that anyone with your bloodline thinks about you, right? Because we lose them over time, right? Now I think, things like ancestry are bringing that kind of thing back, and that's fabulous. Yeah. But it's also like there is one day when life has gone on so far, generations perhaps, right? That you're no longer, there's no, because we don't go to cemeteries like we used to. Yeah. And we don't, you know what I mean? And we don't, but to be fair, the ancestry thing is opening up. Like I didn't know my great-great-grandmother was this. So I think that's helping it. But it's like one day, nobody will ever think about you again.
This is why we write.
Also, the look on your face was like, maybe it's too depressing. She's backing up and moving.
Yes. I'm like, okay, this is dark. But I honestly do think though, for artists though, that's partly why we do what we do, because it's a bid for immortality.
It's a legacy, right?
Yeah. As long as I've got books out there, people can know a certain part of me, like all books are somewhat autobiographical, even it's made me think. So this I'm giving a workshop on Tuesday, as you know, to a writers group in the community where we're moving to, that I will be involved with. So I'm quite excited about this. But
also, when you all hear this, it will have already gone by.
Yes, it will have.
So you can't come to it. I'm sorry.
No, you can't. And it's a craft talk, like a workshop about the craft of writing. Right. And basically, as I was preparing it, I realized what this is it's a talk about voice, because I'm talking about literary devices you can use to bring power to your prose. But that idea of the words that you choose, and this because you write and edit and work on the comms part and all that stuff. The language that you choose sets a tone, and it tells things, even if it's not in words exactly. There's a subtext, right?
Yeah, and it's the emotion it brings to your unconscious, kind of, right?
And it speaks to voice, and anything like that it cannot help but reveal something about the author. Yeah. So I'm like, this is how I plan to live forever, man. Yeah. Gonna get enough books out there, and people read them or not.
And like we have these podcasts. Somebody in 100 years will come across them and go, "What the fuck?"
I have a story for you.
Okay.
So way back when I was freelancing, I wrote a piece. Now this is really going back. My kids were quite small at the time, and I was basically writing for whoever would have me, whoever would pay me, I should say. And I had some regular gigs going with a little local magazine called BC Christian News.
Yep.
And I wrote a piece featuring this woman who ran courses in manners, like, and it was a popular thing among the homeschool group, like, oh, let's have a course that's a fun way to teach your kids why you say please and thank you. And,
Yeah.
who do you open doors for or whatever. And it was just kind of a cute, funny thing. I really don't remember too much about it. It was a long time ago. Well, I got a Facebook messenger message from a woman. Turns out it's the woman that I featured in that story. And she sent me a clip of the cover image, the photo that we used for it. Yeah. And she's like, hey, remember this? Wasn't this cool and whatever? And I'm looking at it. I'm like, I should know this. This looks familiar. This looks familiar. Is that me? No, that's not me. And she happened to have 3 kids who were blonde also. So I was like,
right.
That's not me. What the hell? What is this? And then I realized that's my byline, dummy.
Right.
So then I read the piece just to familiarize myself and went, oh, yeah, I remember her. Okay. And I said, oh, cool, blast from the past. That's all I said, right? And then she came back on and she said how, as the children have been hearing so many lies, girls can be boys and boys can be girls and they can switch anytime they want. And we've been, killing our earth and we're all bigots and homophobes and we're all genocidal and it's so terrible, these lies and blah, blah. And what are you up to?
I like this story.
So I sat on that for a little while. And then I went back and I said, you know what? I'll just read it to you because I actually can't remember what I said.
You have the best stories about religion.
Yeah, I do, don't I? I wish I didn't. So I said, I've been free. So her last line was something about a religious freedom conference. So I said, I've been free from religion for many years now and still recovering from the misinformation I learned under conservative evangelism. I'm deeply grateful that my trans niece is thriving now after being disowned by her loving Christian missionary family rather than being driven to self-harm as so many are. I'm pleased to be learning about the ways we as a country are trying to redress the historic and ongoing equities perpetrated on our Indigenous populations. I know you love your children and their friends, and so I encourage you to read up on the science behind gender diversity. This is an area rife with misinformation, and no one needs our unconditional love and support more than the least of these, such a Christian phrase, who have been so harmed by well-meaning but ignorant and frightened people. Trans folk, as they say, are just folk after all. And then I linked to a sex redefined, one of those science.
I'm proud of you.
Gazillion. Thank you. No answer. But she did request my friendship on Facebook. I'm like, oh.
Because she's going to convert you.
She's going to try and convert me. Yeah. Anyway, that was just one of those like, what is happening out here? What made her think of me? Also, is this a plant? Is it a bot? It could be a bot. Like it was just a phishing thing.
No, but it could also just be a batshit crazy human that, you did this story. And I can't imagine you ever would have consciously discriminated against anybody because that's not who you are.
I might have 20, 30 years ago.
But you know what? But you wouldn't have proactively, you might have sat and listened because I've been thinking a lot about how Indigenous are treated in Toronto.
Yeah.
And the stories we used to hear. And it was like, at one point I was really pissed at myself that I didn't speak up more. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I didn't know. That's all I ever heard. And nobody taught us in school. But the other thing is, I think you and I would have perhaps passively participated, but not, spoken up kind of thing. And also here's this person coming along, making big assumptions that you haven't changed.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But there's one that kind of goes into this, this makes you go, what would make her think if she Googled you and saw your books and saw the reviews or saw the synopsis of them, that would be like, because it wouldn't take that much to see where you stand.
It wouldn't, and that's what makes me think. And because the language was really kind of odd. She started off saying, I feel my career as a manners lady is just about to start. These 25 years of aldership preparation, and then the next line is, it's terrible what the kids have been through and the lies, being told they might be a girl and they might be a boy and that I can change anytime. It just kind of like jumped into it.
There's a disconnect because what do manners have to do with that?
Exactly. So that's what made me think she knew me as one person 25 years ago, and now I'm very different. But if you go anywhere. If you go to my Amazon page, if you go to my website, you're going to see.
Roxanne, all I have to do is Google your name.
Yeah. And you'll know that my values have changed since then. So,
Or go to, AI and ask them to do, like, but the other side of that, like the thing is, so either she has lived in this, I don't want to say bubble because I'm going to talk about a good bubble in a bit, but like she's lived in this world where nothing has changed for her, so she makes that assumption, right? But also, I mean, I bring up stuff like that all the time because I'm testing to see, it's like, am I going to let you in my house? Right? Because, like anytime I'm walking the dog and Chalupa, like everybody thinks he's a girl, and I always make a joke about he's our transgender dog, but I'm not really making a joke.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to see the reaction of their face.
Exactly.
Right? And it's like, but the other side of that is kind of, here's this person, 20 years have gone by, 25 years have gone by, to make an assumption that somebody still has the same belief system. She's been living in the Handmaid's, whatever it's called, tale.
That's why I think it was a fishing expedition, not the scam fishing, but
She's trying to.
I suspect she had seen something about me and went, wait a second, I think that's the woman that I wonder.
That's interesting.
Like I wonder if she'll pretend or if she'll, like, what is she going to say? Like, where does Roxanne stand on these things? I'm going to throw this out here and see if what I've been,
right,
the clues I've been getting, if they're real. They're real, honey. Yeah.
But okay, but and again, there's the, when people make this assumption that you're going to go along with them, and I think it's really changing now because especially younger people are like, no, not cool. But I think they throw stuff out there, and it's like, why don't you say straight up, hey, here's the deal, here's who I am. If you're not, and for me, it's like, there's lots of stuff I can argue, discuss, debate, whatever it is. But those are lines for me. And it's like, I don't need you to understand trans. I don't even need you to embrace it. But I need you to stay the fuck away from it then.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's just it. I get it. It's an awkward thing when you make these statements sometimes, and people make them, and it's like, you don't realize who's in the room.
I follow a guy on Instagram called I forget his name. I'll find a link to him, but he calls himself a deep skeptic and also a pastor. And I've watched a few more now to know that I believe it's a Progressive Methodist church, and he's an online pastor, so I don't know exactly what that means, but he does have some really interesting talking points on his Instagram reels. And he talked about one where when he was in seminary, he was talking with a professor of his, and seminary is pastor school for anybody who doesn't know theology.
Like that, pastor school.
And he was talking about the idea of evolution versus creation, and how, this can be such a messy place to go, and people try to make sense of it, and they want their faith to make sense, but maybe they believe science too. And this is what he was asking his professor, and his professor said something to the effect of, people are trying to do one thing where they should be doing two things. When you are thinking about religious things, or you're looking at something through a religious lens, you will use the tools of religion to explain things. When you are looking through a scientific lens, you will use the tools of science to explain things. Don't look through a religious lens and try to make sense of the science.
Right.
And don't look through a scientific lens and try with the tools of science try and make sense of religion. The two can exist. You just can't overlap. You can't overlap the tools.
Yep.
Right. And I'm not explaining it very well here, but that really made sense to me. This idea
but it does, because there are lots of scientists, I mean, who believe in something, right? I'm not talking organized religion, but that believe there is and I don't want to say higher power, because that always feels controlling to me, but there is it's like what I would call the universe, or
there's more than we can see or explain.
And so lots of scientists believed in a thing, right? And yet they were also the ones that are like, here's quantum blah blah blah,
yeah.
Right? And it's like, so if they believed in it, like, that's what gives me and I don't have a problem with spirituality, and I think that's the, when you get to it, I have a problem with organized religion.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, it's not that I don't believe in a goddess, the universe, right? Any of that. But I also think it's like, that's another thing that kind of makes you go, how do you go through life and stay so, like, you see these people sometimes and it's like, you live under a rock, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit like, how do you stay so closed in? Because over years, all of our values and like, and it's not just the values of, be kind, don't be an asshole, don't this, but it's like, all of a sudden it's like, be inclusive is far more important to me now than it ever was.
Yeah.
Right. And that's because I've seen how the harm it can be.
Exactly. And I think, like we're talking about the people we were 25 years ago versus who we are now, it comes back to that. When you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
I didn't know stuff then. Like, I just didn't. Most of us didn't. There was not a lot of chatter. Okay, I'm going to tell you about another. It feels like it's been a busy 48 hours. And I don't, as you know, I don't post a lot on Facebook, but I did post a thing I shared. I posted and then
the thing about religion?
There's a thing about religion. Yeah. So there's two things. One was about Jeff Bezos and and it was Robert Reich's thing about how he's like the ultimate evil robber baron. He's so evil. Yeah. And so I just put out there how, like, I'm doing my best, but as an author, I don't know what to do with this. Yeah. I buy a lot of books. I use my Kindle, but I don't as much as, and I'm not 100% consistent, but I'm way better than I was. I don't order from Amazon anymore. I order digital books only. If it's a physical book, I go to Indigo or I go to a bookstore and buy it that way. And if it's an item that I can buy from a whole, like a distributor somewhere else, a retailer somewhere else, I will order it from them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I put that out there with a query for, other authors and readers and people who buy books. Like, how do you feel about this? What do you do this? Because I still want to support the authors who make a significant portion of their already measly royalties from Amazon. Like, I don't think we deserve to be punished. But all that to say, anyway, so I put that out there, and the only thing that came on was some guy saying, "Your book sounds fascinating. I would like to help you market it." I'm like, what?
I liked it. Seriously? Just so you know, I liked that. I liked your thing when you put it up. I can't contribute because I'm not an author, but I was like, I'm behind this.
But so then the other one was, I was just reposting something, and I don't think I commented at all. I just reposted it.
No, somebody commented though.
I know somebody commented, yes, but it was about, it was a profile about a woman who's done a tremendous amount of research into the women of the Bible and the female leaders in the Bible who basically got erased or squashed or written out. But there's tons of evidence that they were there and that they held important roles in the spirituality of the time, the teaching of the time. And the one person who responds says, "This is all lies. The Bible will tell you how to live, and the Catholic Church has taught you everything you need to know." I'm like, you just proved my point. Like,
that's exactly. I almost was like, how stupid are you? And then I was like, I don't know this person. She might be a relative. I'm not like, and it was like there, and it was like, oh, honey, you need to read that back.
So threatened. So anyway, I'm like 0 for 3 now, really. So.
Well, but also because you stand your ground, right? Like, the other thing is you put out what you believe, and you're willing to have the conversation if they actually come to it. Because I have gone to people that have posted stuff and stuff that I think I agree with, but it's like, can you tell me more? Because I think yes, but I need to, like, give me some context, because there is always, other context and it's like, I'm always trying to figure out, where'd you get this information, right? Because they really, sometimes people really believe this stuff, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, but let's dig in, but they don't want to believe that that what they were taught is wrong. Nobody ever, like that, especially I'm finding on that. It's like, because I'm always like, tell me how to do better. I'm in.
Yeah.
For stuff like that. Okay, we're going to go a little lighter now.
And that's a good idea. Don't trust me to keep it light.
Well, you know,
I will go dark.
you're in the middle of moving and preparing for a presentation. It's like you're allowed to go dark.
Quadruple Scorpio, I will always take it dark.
So did you know that bananas are technically berries?
What? Mind.
See?
Berries. Okay, but maybe that explains why they go so well with blueberries and strawberries.
And ice
Okay,
cream and bananas.
say more. Tell me more.
I don't have
More,
any more.
Ruth.
That's all I got. I just asked for a bunch of random things.
Okay.
Okay, so and now this is one that I find really interesting because I'm often in conversations and somebody will say, "Hey, remember when we did X, X, and X?" And it's like, that's not how I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's like, okay, so, and I mean, my first question is always, were we drinking? and usually it's no. And then, I mean, sometimes they say it and it's like, I don't remember it at all because my mind is like a sieve. But the other thing is, I saw Bruce Springsteen, I forget what talk show it was, but he was on there and they were talking to him about one of his songs and they said the lyrics and he's like, what? And the original lyric, he had sung it wrong for like the last 30 years.
No.
Yeah. And so, you know, the thing is you can remember something absolutely clearly, but wrong and fully believe it. And that's why they don't trust, you know, witnesses, right? But the other thing is like, think about the things where you thought you were being slighted somewhere, or maybe you thought somebody was hitting on you, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they weren't. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you walked away from it, and that was your takeaway. And then it was
That's
like,
your
oh my
reality.
God.
And you remember that. And you'll tell other people and that will reinforce the memory in
That's
your
like
mind.
the stories you tell yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so then it made me think, though, because you always go into it through the lens of wherever you are at that moment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so you go in, and it's a little bit like, you know, getting a recipe really wrong and then deciding you like it. Like, it's like, I don't know if you remember the Friends episode where Rachel made trifle, but
Yes,
she
yes.
put beef in it,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Whipped cream and
Yeah.
custard and ground beef and peas.
yeah. It's like, and it's like,
And Joe is like, good. I like it.
I know,
Good.
that's just it, right? And there'll always be somebody who agrees with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there have been things people have said, and it's like, wait, what? And it's about like history stuff. So you go back and look, and it's like, I had that wrong,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But it's to me, it's like that's one of the things that are really, it's just really fascinating the way the brain works.
Yes. Did we tell you the story? I think we've told you, but I'll tell you for our listeners because it's a good one. When we bought a gift for one of our staff members, and it was like, I don't know, she'd been with us for 10 years or something. And we always do a little something. We always did a little something for our long-term staff. And so she was a huge, I believe it was huge basketball fan, right? So Ray said, you know what? I'm going to get you tickets to this like finals game or something. And you know, get you there, dinner, hotel for the night or whatever, like a night out on us. And so Good's decided, you know, time goes on, and as it's coming up to it, Ray starts asking people like, "You've got the tickets, right?" And he's like, "I don't have them. I gave them to you." And she's like, "No, you didn't." And he's like, "But I did. I remember. And he's like, "I remember in my hand. I passed them to you. I gave them to you." And she's like, "No, you didn't." And so he's freaking out because, well, we promised this gift and
Yeah.
what
the hell is it?
Well, they don't know who's playing in the finals until just before the finals. They don't make up the tickets. He hadn't got them. He'd ordered them. Like they were on, you know, like whatever. He was in the system. He paid for them and all that. But they don't print the tickets until they know who's playing.
Right?
So he remembered so clearly that he had handed them over to someone in his hand, to their hand. Nope, never happened. Never happened.
Yeah, but that's how your brain can like. It's really fascinating that you can tell yourself this story and fully believe it. And like, I've had it with people, and it was like a very clear experience. We both remembered, and it's not. I mean, it's not one of those where it's like, you know, an argument or anything. But it's like, here's what happened, and it's almost like. And then the gorilla came into the room and sat down and had a beer, and the other one is like, yeah, and then we watched Saturday Night Live, and it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like you're not even watching the same movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
Okay, here's another one we have to rock. So we have to
okay.
think about, and we have to research this.
Okay.
Your brain named itself.
What? I think my brain named itself Beavis or Butthead. What did your brain name itself? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just asked for some ideas.
Your brain named
Named
itself.
itself. Well, it's true because it's the thinking part. So, like, if it's like I got to talk
I
to
see.
myself, then my brain knows it's myself.
This goes back to what I've always said about, when you're having a mental health crisis of some kind or another, and you try and talk yourself out of it, and be like, no, I'm okay. I don't need help. I'm okay.
Yeah,
You're trying to help fix an
Yeah.
organ that's broken with the organ that's broken. It
yeah.
doesn't work.
No, but that's exactly right. Like, and
That's
it's like, and then you
interesting.
think about the stuff your brain tells you. Because the other thing, and I guess I don't know how this all came from a cup of coffee outside in my dome, but it just but it's like the other thing is like all the shitty stuff you tell yourself. That's all bullshit too.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
is for the people that go overboard about the good stuff, like I'm the
Mhm.
best. That's
Mhm.
all bullshit too.
Yeah.
Like there's this little pocket that maybe is factual because these things are all true to you, right? Like I don't know if they're true, but they're true to you. And it's like, so now I can't trust anything my brain tells me.
I just want to go to a corner, sit in a corner and rock now, bang my head against the floor. Like I don't know what to do with all this. This is not. Yeah,
I
I'm
told you
not
it
the
would be
downer
chaos.
here, huh?
I told you it would be chaos today. I'm
Yes.
just signaling to Paul that I need a beer.
You mean your husband?
Yes, Paul, my husband.
My husband, Paul.
My husband,
Hi,
Paul. Yeah,
Hi, Rox.
we're on a podcast. Say hi to the crew.
Hi, everybody.
There's
Okay,
Paul.
here's one more. An octopus has 3 hearts.
Wow.
And I'm not sure now, because I really like, there's certain places that have really good calamari, but I'm not sure I can have it anymore because how do you say it? Octopi?
Calamari? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
but
trying to say?
okay, but wait, is it octopus or
Octopi? Octopi for
But
plural,
anyway,
I think.
those creatures that they make calamari
Uh-huh.
with are sentient beings and they know things and they're smart.
Yeah. Oh, did you watch my octopus
No,
teacher
I'm
or
afraid
whatever it
to
was
because
called?
I've eaten a lot of calamari in my life.
It is great. You should really watch it. Just
I'm
try and not use don't use those tools to watch this movie. Just watch it. It's really, really good. But yeah, it does make you not want to eat calamari anymore. But okay, on the other hand, they only live like 2 or 3 years. They're not long lived. I believe that's the
Okay.
truth.
So if I could get one like the day before it was going to die?
Exactly. Yes. Eat that one. Eat that one. So its life doesn't die in vain.
But I have to admit, since learning, because there was one, I'm pretty sure it was in New Zealand, and it kept escaping its tank and going across the street to a store.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I heard
Or
one
going
that
back,
was-
like it was something. I'll have to look at it and put a link. But I'm pretty sure it was something in New Zealand where it was like this really smart octopus was like, "Screw you."
Well, because they can
not
get out of
staying
a
here.
hole like that big, right? Because they don't have. I think their only bone is like their little beak, right? I don't think they have any other bony cartilage
Also-
or anything.
I also saw a thing, on YouTube, which it's got to be true. But apparently there are certain species of octopus, I guess, that just randomly reach out and slap fish. Just like
I want to
because
see
it's
that.
like I know I'll find that one because it was really because it's kind of like not like they're being attacked. It's not like the fish is coming for them. The fish are going by happily, and it's like that cat that you always had, right? That the cat that just wants to get you.
Okay, so Ray's been talking lately about how he might want to get a pet bird. Like when he was a kid,
Like a
he
parrot?
had- no, not a parrot, but he had pigeons when he was a kid, and then he had a budgie. And I always had budgies and cockatiels when I was. We had budgies when we were kids, and then when I was first living on my own, I had budgies and cockatiels and turtles and whatnot else. But
You were living on your own and you had all this?
yeah, because I was on my own, and now I could have all the pets I wanted, except for what wasn't allowed in my apartment.
Did you ever get to go out at night because you had all these things?
I mean, it was a short period of time in my life, like a year or two. So yeah,
And you were like, How old?
22. Yep. Birds
I had a
don't take a
dog.
lot of care. Birds don't.
Really?
But
Well,
but
it wasn't
anyway,
like you were going out a lot either, just saying at that age.
well, that age, believe it or not, I had a bit of a social life
You were a trollopy?
there. I wasn't trollopy, no, but it's maybe trollopy adjacent.
Okay, then.
Anyway, derailing,
I
derailing.
love how I can just pull you down the garden path.
So he's talking about this, and we were visiting with somebody else recently, and this guy also said that he was interested in birds, and so Ray finds this video. He's on Facebook, and it's a video of a Moluccan cockatoo, or one of the bigger ones with the crest on the head, right?
Yep.
And they're like freaking smart, super loud, and they walk a lot. They
Yep.
don't necessarily fly, right? So he gets this video of 4 dogs sleeping in this lovely patch of sunlight, and then you see this Moluccan cockatoo come waddling up behind the dogs, and it gets to like the group of 5 dogs just sound asleep, snoring in the corner, and it goes right up to him and it goes, and the dogs all like explode up out of the air, and they're barking, and the chihuahua's biting everybody, and they're freaking out, and they're running, and the bird is just standing there like evil little creatures. It is friggin' hilarious. So,
Okay.
yeah.
He wants that kind of bird?
No, he's not getting one of those. I looked after one of those for quite some time at one of the clinics I worked at, and that is more bird. But the friend said he wants one of those, and then he's going to will it to his enemy when he dies, because they live like as long
Forever.
as us, right? So
They live
yeah,
forever.
it's not a small commitment. You get one of those, and you got it for a while. So
Okay,
anyway,
so our friends, Terry and Andy,
mm-hmm.
and I want to get this right because the story's freaking hilarious. They were at a resort, and it had one of, the fancier parrots, that kind of a bird.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Damn it, and I wish I could remember its name because I was killing myself, and for days I was like, where's
macaw?
Annie, right? But so apparently this bird took a real shine to Andy.
Uh-oh.
And his partner, Terry,
Mm-hmm.
was like persona non grata. So not only would this bird follow Andy around, but it would try to kill Terry.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It didn't like Terry at all. And it was kind of like every time Andy turned his head, the bird was like doing this to Terry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, but it was so obvious that it became sort of the funny thing at the resort, right? Oh my God, your dog.
I know.
But you know what I mean? Like, and I'll have to tape them when they tell the story because it's freaking hilarious. Because it got to the point where Terry was like, I think that bird really wants to kill me.
Yeah. They are scary. Like when you commit.
Did you see the TV show, The Bird, or the movie, The Birds?
Oh yeah, the Alfred Hitchcock one. Yeah. Sure did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that made an impression. I don't know how. I was like 12. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made an impression.
Yeah.
Scared of crows. Although
Crows are
the whole
smart.
idea of like crows gifting things and you giving something to the crow and the crow giving something back to you, I want that. I want
Me
to do
too.
that.
And I want to get it. So there was in New York City, there was a thing. This is also one of those things that makes you go, because crows will be your friend, right? So apparently this woman, a single woman, was in like a brownstone or something,
Mhm.
and she fed the crows and they took care of her, and they dropped things for her. But then the crows started attacking her neighbors because they didn't like them walking by her door, right? And it's like, holy, so like. And they remember things, right? Crows and ravens.
Yes.
I don't know the difference, and I should learn. But crows and ravens,
Yeah.
yeah.
The ravens are the bigger ones, and one has a black bill and one has a yellow one, and I don't remember which is which.
Yeah, look at you. Okay, I'm going to use this as a segue
Okay.
into talking about my bubble
Yes.
because so we got a dome, and I will do a video, and we'll run it in here somewhere. Maybe as I'm talking, I'll take you on a little tour. But so you're sitting in there. And it's really cool because it feels like there's nothing between you, but there's something between you. Except every time a bird flies over, right, and they're farther away, it doesn't feel like it in the dome because they're right over your head. You do this,
I believe
right?
it.
Because it feels like they're swooping at you.
Maybe they are. They're taking a look because, I mean, they know windows. They understand what windows are, but they don't know what windows are in that configuration.
No,
And they don't want to hit them.
no.
But
Well, and we were a bit worried about that, but afterwards it was like, oh my God, I feel like they're gonna try to poop on me because they don't realize something's there.
something's flying over your screen. Never mind.
No,
I don't know. It's gone now.
it's a crow.
Maybe.
What
Are
did
you
I
going to
do?
take
Did I
us
lean back
take
and
us on
cause
a
something?
tour of your dome?
What's that?
Are you going to take us on a tour of the dome?
I will. I will do. We're still tidying up and stuff, and I
Okay.
tried to film out there, and it wasn't so bad, but I forgot to buy the shade thing for it, so I had to order it. And then it was like it wasn't so bad. I could kind of see the screen, but behind me, because where the sun was shining, it looked like all wavy behind me, and I thought it
Oh.
might give somebody like a seizure or something because
Might
it was
give
like
me a
I looked
seizure.
and it was like I feel like I've done mushrooms. So I will do a proper tour once we get a few things set better tomorrow.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I was thinking about your earlier when you were talking about the last time, you do this or the last time
Yep.
you do that. Because we get our keys in a week. See, you've got a fly. I think you have.
I do have a fly, and
Okay,
a big one.
that's what's coming around.
It's like this big. It's like from the movie The Fly.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm thinking about, well, today, as I was clearing off the island, I was thinking about how, you know what? The island in the new house doesn't have a sink within splash range. And so this is the last time soon that I'm going to get my stuff wet because it's right near the sink.
Yep.
But
Right?
yeah. Yeah.
But that's just it. Like some of the last times are good. Like I think about. I mean, it's different. It's been different for you and for Paul and I because and even for Ray, although he went into a workspace, right? But it's like I've been thinking about the last time somebody who's retiring who went to a job for 40, 50, like for, you know what I mean? Like for a long time. And it was like the last time they leave, what must that be like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think you have to manage that stuff when it's like that kind of abrupt departure or abrupt ending. I think that's really rough. That's hard if you're not prepared for it. It's really, like Ray's change from, working full time to working part time and then less part time and then less part time. That's so smart because he's maintaining relationships, but he'll be like, yeah, I don't want to work. I'm going to take a couple weeks off. Well, that means he's taking like 3 Monday
Right.
mornings off.
Right.
Right. Where he doesn't go in at all. But then he'll
Right.
go back and, he maintains the best part of
Yeah.
everything he's got there without any of the stuff that kills you, literally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other side of that, I think looking at it, because there is you hit a certain age, 21, and you're thinking about all the things, but you even like changing our lifestyle to what we have here, and I expect you guys will go through it, is you start to reevaluate stuff. And sometimes you think about, because as I think we've talked about before, I try to think about death every day. And my sister, gave that advice, because then you become accustomed to it, right? But I was thinking, so what's the lot? Like I used to love to water ski, and it was like, oh, when's the last time I water skied? And I actually could trace it back to the date. You know what I mean? Because I can't imagine. I just don't have the physical strength anymore to do it, because like water skiing's hard.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved it, but I also remember that time because it was just before I moved out here to BC. And I was thinking, I'm moving, and now this is the last time at the cottage, like, and it was a cottage, a bunch of us rented and stuff. Right.
Okay.
And it was like, oh yeah, and then you look and it's like that at that moment, it didn't make me sad. And looking back, it doesn't make me sad because it was an episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think if you can place the things there, but like the idea at one point, it's going to be, it's the last time you had a meal because, the Grim Reaper's coming for you. Right. But then the other thing is, it might be I'm really hoping there's going to be a last time where we have to work on the garden and we could actually sit in it. Just the last time for this year, universe, not saying the whole last time.
I'm going to use this as a segue to my book recommendation. I didn't think I was going to have one today, but I actually do, and you just reminded me of it because it's a book called The Garden of Small Beginnings.
Ooh.
And I have a feeling the author's name might be Abby Waxman, but I'll check that anyway.
Okay.
But the book it's It's women's fiction, it's comedy, and it's got a couple of the best kid characters I've ever read in there.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's just super cute. And of course there's a gardening theme, so that's why, and I've read it before, so I'm rereading it because I wanted to read something gardeny and I just need something happy for
Yeah.
my brain. And it is about a woman who was widowed 4 years ago, and she has a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, I think. And she's an illustrator. She gets assigned. She's working for a company who gets a contract for a series of gardening textbooks, and she's the illustrator for it. And they tell her, you have to go and take this course, this gardening course, because it'll make you a better illustrator. She's like, I could just go to the grocery store and buy a carrot, but
Yeah.
whatever, you want me to take this class,
Yeah.
I'll take the class.
Yeah.
So she takes the class, and they go through 6 weeks of building a community garden. So there's all this stuff about all these, disparate people in the class coming together and learning about plants, but also building kind of a community together. This is what made me think of it, is that last time thing, right?
Right.
She describes how she was having one of those they were having one of those stupid fights, like,
Yeah.
put the toilet seat down or whatever it was. It was something
Yeah.
small and inconsequential. And he walks out, gets in his car, and is hit by a car and killed instantly,
Oh,
just
God.
like that.
Yeah.
And she, is dealing with all of that. They've got young kids, all the things. And that's, I think, why I love this so much, because that sounds really dark, but in fact the book is so full of heart and it's so
Yeah.
funny. Like, I
Yeah.
laugh out loud. So anyway, the first day of the class, the woman and her two kids show up at the class, and her sister shows up a little bit later, and her sister, I think, was out the night before or something, and she comes in and she's got like glasses on, and she's, looking a little rough. And somebody comments over here, well, it looks like this celebrity just got here and looks like she had a rough night. Like, just,
Yeah.
sotto voce under,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
kid, the youngest one, hears it. And she says, when her sister gets there, they thought you were drunk, Auntie. She's not drunk. That's just how she looks, like, she'll just say, she comes out with these comments that are just
Yeah.
so flippin' adorable and cute. And there's nothing victimy or
Right.
angsty about them. Anyway, it's just a lovely, lovely story. And plus there's cute little gardening tips in there, like what to grow together so that they do well.
It's like those books you read, like typically women's fiction, where they have recipes.
Yes.
Like, what's the woman's name that I read? Ellen?
Oh, Ellen Hildebrand.
Yeah. Anyway, she's always got like, she references food, and then I Google it, and it's from a recipe
Yes.
from a Nantucket restaurant,
Yes.
right? Because she's all like, so there's a thing that I would be happy, gardening tips, cooking, recipes,
Yes.
all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. Okay, I have another one. Here's a really good one, and then we'll try to wrap up and not make this an hour and a half.
That'd
But
be great.
you've passed people you'll never see again who could have mattered.
Past people you'll never see again who could
So
have.
you've gone by people,
Oh yeah.
perhaps you met them and didn't follow up, or perhaps you just passed on the street and somehow the universe didn't align,
Mhm.
but you've passed people who might have changed your life.
Yeah.
Or you had a moment to engage and it didn't. Like, I always think about there was a TV show, and it was How I Met Your Mother, and at the end they sort of explained he came out, he was going to go to one restaurant, and then he decided to go to another restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
That decision changed his life,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like I often think about that. You make a decision to do something,
Yeah.
and like you've often said, when you choose to do something, you choose to not do something else.
That's right.
Right? How does that impact? Or on the other side, you could have dodged a bullet by not turning left and you went right.
Totally. Totally. And you'll
Right?
never know, right? And that's
But think about that, right? Like,
that's the stuff of good movies, good books, good television, right? Because we those are fascinating
so
ideas.
fascinating, right? Like,
Yeah.
like following those trails,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's another one. Apparently you can't hum with your nose closed. You can't. My dogs are looking at me like I'm dying.
Ah, the weird things that you know.
I know. Also, wait, water has no taste. It's all perception.
Oh, that I disagree with.
But we're talking pure water, not, with fluoride in it or any of the things.
So okay. Well, I don't know what pure water is, but
Like from a creek.
yeah, you don't know
You're
what
from a farm.
Giardia tastes like from a creek. I grew up in Saskatchewan. Partly we were in the farm, partly in the city, and a lot of my relatives were on the farm. And whenever we went out to visit the relatives who actually had well water, I'd be like, "Oh, their water tastes so terrible."
It does taste funny.
Yeah, it tastes funny. And of course, all city water tastes the same, for sure.
Except it tastes funny to people who are on well water.
Right. Yeah. On that note, I just gotta say, I watched a show, and
Of course you did.
of course,
Or you read a book.
and it was the not Zach Galifianakis.
Oh yeah, he's out here somewhere. He's on some island.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Galliano.
okay. Yeah, and
Maybe.
he was talking about water, and he was talking about okay. You know what a sommelier is, right? For wine,
Yeah.
there are apparently water sommeliers. Well, I think he interviewed the only one in the known universe, probably. But they were talking about like specific gravity, and they're talking about density, and they're talking about all these different things. And I'm like, what?
But that makes sense if you think about wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing about where it's grown, the soil it's grown in, the weather, right? Water's the same, right? It runs through a different creek. It's got, that's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, changed the way I think about water a little bit, and I dearly love my water. So,
yeah. Okay, I want to go back for a second to the manners thing. It makes me insane when people don't say please and thank you.
Yeah.
Who decided we were supposed to say please and thank you?
Right.
Like where did it come from?
Right.
I like it, but also, and I mean, in my house, because it's our house, but it's my house, right? About this. And if somebody doesn't say, like, especially a kid, I'll say, here we say please and thank you. Right? But lots of people don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so I understood kind of, like, I was a bit excited until I realized that she was a not more racist, but like to bring and I don't even, manners is maybe the wrong word. Maybe it's courtesy.
I think it has something to, I remember reading something once that talked about courtesy and manners as being a social lubricant.
Yeah.
And it can be a bad word, but
so many jokes.
So many
jokes.
I know. You and I are above that. So, but
you
it's the idea that it smooths the interactions between people, and interactions between anybody can be rough. They can be, you can be in a bad mood, or you don't quite understand the other person, or whatever, or
you're an asshole.
But something like please, you have a demand or a need or something, and it softens it. It's like the reason you plant a tree or flowers at a sharp corner around your house. It softens that edge. It makes it visually easier to look at, more pleasant. That's what it does to your interactions. Manners, that's what I think about manners. It just makes that thing that, people are difficult. People are difficult and complicated, and there's no reason.
They're so nice. I have other words for them.
But there's, of course we're going to have troubles interacting, but if you can, oh, I'm so sorry. Can I help you with this? Or go ahead of me, or something like that. It doesn't have to be self-sacrificing. If you're thinking about it from the other person's point of view and just thinking like, how can I not make this harder for them?
Right.
Well,
and how can you, especially these days, it's like going out of your way. For me, I mean, I have always been that kind of courteous. I let people yield. If somebody's struggling, I'll ask if I can help carry their bag, or what I mean? Like, although now these days they probably think I'm a mugger or something. But the other thing is, it's also just an acknowledgement of another human being.
That's it.
Right?
Yes. I think that's it, is we all know what it's like to carry heavy bags and, have one of them split, or you can't find your keys or whatever. And when you see somebody struggling, you just give them a hand, because that's the good part of being human, right?
But that's just it, right? And it's like when it goes back to, sort of the best of us in the and it really, I have a hard time with it because there's a whole thing about servant leadership, and that I don't like that phrase. And it's about serving others because it's been co-opted, right?
It's been co-opted by the church very much. Yeah.
And so, but it really is like looking around and taking a look of, how can I just make this moment better? It doesn't have to be the biggest, it could just be like, oh my goodness, I could give somebody a hand. Right. But I think that thought doesn't come in, or saying please and thank you. Like anytime somebody drives, I make a point of saying thank you for driving, because, and not just because fuel prices are ridiculous, but also it takes effort. Right. And you have to, like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with it, and you're the responsible one of getting us there. And it's like just a little acknowledgement of like, I saw what you did there, right?
Yeah.
This took some. It's not like they gave me their kidney, but
Exactly.
they got me somewhere safely. That's a pretty big deal.
Yep. Yeah, those little things, they're just acknowledgments, right? And I think it's I think about the people who, or the marbles analogy, right? You've got a bucket, and it's not the first marble that makes you lose it. It's the last one, when the bucket is full of marbles and it's just that one more, and then it tips over and you lose your effing mind, even though the thing itself was so tiny. Yeah. But the little courtesies we do, they take out a marble. They take out
and that, I think that's a good way of putting it, because it is. It's like one of those where most people just want to be acknowledged that they've and it's not like, it's not, again, transactional, but it's just like, wow, you made an effort there, or you acknowledge this, or you saw this, right? Like even Paul and I say, like, there's stuff that we'll say that seems like you wouldn't, but it would be like, oh, thank you for picking up after that, or oh, thank you for making dinner, right? And it's just a little acknowledgement, so you don't feel taken for granted.
Yeah.
It take like, manners to me take nothing. Although I have to say, I was in Buffalo one time with a friend years and years ago, and the server, who was a lovely older woman that had worked at this diner forever, and she was like, if you say please one more time, I'm going to punch you. And I was like, okay, sorry.
Maybe I'm sorry, I'm Canadian, I can't help
I know, but and she was laughing when she said it, but she was like, you two are the most polite girls I've ever met.
I love it.
But it's an interesting thing to think where things come from, because to me it's just a little acknowledgement that somebody is making an effort in some way for you, right?
You know what else it does is it levels the playing field a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Especially in, like what you're talking about, if you're in a restaurant, or you're like, I'm imagining, myself making a bunch of grilled cheese for the grandkids.
Right.
If the grandkids say please or thank you to Granny feels appreciated, like we're here. If we're talking, in a service industry somewhere, it's really easy to think, hey, the customer is always right. I get what I want. You're getting paid to do what you do. Why do I have to give you anything more or say thank you? No, because you're all humans, because you're both humans. And so, yes, you just say thank you because it's one human doing a thing for another human.
Right. Okay, so the next time we see all of this crew, right, you will have your new house, you'll have your keys.
This is episode number 74. So this one is going to air on March the 22nd.
May 22nd.
What did I say?
March.
MA, fill in the blank.
Are you in the wrong month, Roxanne?
No, I'm not. It's May, but I do that a lot. I also do that with January and July, and there's no reason for that, but I just do. Yes.
Okay, so what do you have that you're grateful for this week?
What am I grateful for this week? You go first.
My bubble.
Yes, your bubble.
My dome is beautiful. It took them, so we were counting it up. So it took Ren, who is a most fabulous handy person, right? Like, he's done a lot of the little renos around our house. It took him and Paul 16 hours to put together.
That's a lot of hours.
And it's a huge amount of hours, because, and they worked like fast and like they work, and Ren is like, he renovates stuff, so he understands the things. Okay. But like Paul was like yesterday, he's like, I can't move my hands, because it's like you had to hold up, because it's all like these hexagon pieces of a puzzle. Yeah. And every one is different, but it's got to fit right in, because it's the whole thing. How it comes together is what gives its strength, right?
Of course.
And I think I sent you guys a video. There's one
you did
where they actually bounced a watermelon off it. right?
That's amazing watching that.
Like,
It's so cool. Like
it's
the
really
flexi-
structurally sound and it's
Yeah.
really cool, but they
Yeah.
work really hard to get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And I will do a video because it's a most magical place.
I can't wait to see it because I've only seen them, like I've not seen one in the real
In person.
in
Yeah.
person, right? You've seen your sisters.
Yeah.
But I'm so intrigued by that. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Well, and so I'll say my grateful is related to that, but it's that I have a greenhouse in the new house that we're going to,
That's exciting.
which is not a dome, it's not a bubble, but it's
Yeah.
similar, and I've never had one before.
Yeah.
And now the pressure is on to grow stuff,
Things.
grow food.
But you can grow like veggies all winter then.
Yeah, one could, whether I
One
can or
could.
not is yet to be seen.
But you know what? So I've been looking because we have a couple of plants that will have to come in the summer or in the winter.
The winter.
And so I'm going to put them in the bubble because it's basically just a round greenhouse, right?
Totally,
Is what it is.
Yeah.
And they were saying like you can get a little greenhouse heater that's timed. So and it's like only if it goes below this.
Oh,
It kicks on, right? So
yeah,
I've been looking
yeah.
into that to if I have to
Yeah.
move those plants in, I will protect them, right?
Yeah.
But also I don't want to leave the heater on in there and have a ridiculous
Ooh.
bill.
Yeah.
But you can if it goes below a certain amount.
Yeah.
Then the heater kicks on.
Well, and this on sunny days, not that we have that many of those in winter, but on the sunny days that are there, it would be warmer inside the bubble
Oh, for sure.
than outside, right? So
Oh yeah.
that's very cool.
And we have a little heater that works and stuff. And then it's like now it's not because it's not. I mean, it's April. It's not so bad. But I expect there'll be some hot nights where you can't. Like even if it's until it cools down, you can't go into it because it gets a lot of sun. And we have a shade thing, right?
Yeah.
That I forgot to order. But it will help. But there will be. I expect there'll probably be a few nights we can't go into it. But like I went out this morning and it was a little chilly. So, but I could look up and see some stars.
Oh,
Right? It's really cool.
I love it. Hey, don't eat that. Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, apparently it's time to be done here.
It's time. There you go. So,
Hey, watch this. Watch this. Touch my hand. Well, or my shoulder, whatever.
Tanya, get him to ring a bell.
Oh, no, because he will do it all the time. Okay.
Okay, so what do you want more of, Rox?
I want more happy hours. What do you want, Ruth?
I want less bullshit, that's for sure.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, you guys.
Have a great weekend or whatever day of the week you see them.